are live today, and I have a very, very, very special guest. We have just spent the past 4 days trying to get my book to go number one. For anybody watching right now, if you don't know, this is my new book, The Butterfly Who Changed Everything. It's a solid number two, okay? It's a solid number two. So I want to introduce my publisher, Dr. Smiley, Ken Rashan, and he has something awesome to talk about today for all the authors, speakers, and podcast hosts. It's a very awesome, special opportunity that can help you break out of obscurity and be known as an influencer and leader in your field. So I'm going to give you the stage right now.
Well, thank you. The first thing I'd like to say is not just thank you for having me here, but thank you for being someone that steps up. And even though you say you're a solid number two and you use the word trying, I'll let the audience know a couple things. First of all, back in the day, which was only a couple years ago, you could pick categories that were very easy to win in, and you had very tough categories to compete in. Happiness and creativity have some books in there that are 25,000 reviews. So you're playing with the big boys. And number two is if in the 4 days that you were trying to be number two, which I will accept that trying is okay to say at this point, is if you took all 4 days and put them together, you'd be number one. And the third thing I'll say is you were number one for 2 days in new releases.
Yes, that I was.
And I have a shout out to Jimmy Owens. He has a book called Never, Never, Never Quit, and he has tried 3 times, and he said number 2 or 3 all times. So I think it's God's way of saying, if you want to really wake up the world, it's not going to be one day. It's going to be how many days do you want to actually say you're number one? I had someone tell me something about Amazon today that I won't name a name, but I'll just say it's someone I respect a lot. And she said, Ken, I've hit number two on Amazon. And quite frankly, I don't care about hitting number one. She says, it's not going to get me more jobs. People are hiring me because of who I am. And they're hiring me because of what the reviews say about my book. So I want to say that the main reason I'm here is not to talk about an Amazon bestseller, but to talk about the reviews that a community can give you that get you the support, get you the marketing, get you what's called social proof, and get you access points. If you got an Amazon bestseller in one day and you made $100 or whatever amount of money you made, and you have 1 or 2 reviews, I promise you.
This one was a bestseller, by the way.
It was a bestseller. And you know what's going to be more important, though, is all the reviews you've received for that book.
That's right.
So if you get an Amazon bestseller for one day, and let's say you sold 55 books, you got an Amazon bestseller, and you got 1 review, I would trade that for not getting any Amazon bestseller and having 50 reviews.
Absolutely. Yes.
So if you were to take the system of reviews is actually pretty interesting. So if you had 100 people write your reviews and you market those reviews, but more importantly, you ask them, hey, you love the book, would you mind posting your review? They're making a stand for you, and they're edifying you, and they're caring about you, and they're being a champion for you. And I'll just say that is what I do and what we want to do with the community called thesmilechannel.com. So thesmilechannel.com, we broke 500 people, by the way. We are at 33 days. We're still in beta, but we are in beta 2. And Francine, if I recall, you're like number 4 on the charts of the readers, and you're something like number 5 on the charts of connectors. And I think you're number 2 in the charts of impact. So there are 3 games you can play on the site. And if you dare to play them, you'll find out, or you'll humble yourself, that as much as you play big in one day is only one day. How big are you playing every single day? So we have a game that we play, do a review a day, show your video to somebody or to 10 people a day, and bring someone to the site every day. And when you do that, you actually are playing bigger, and the consistency of that causes your community to know you better, to see that you are a giver, to see you are a contributor, to see that you're powerful. And I did an experiment about 3 years ago. I bought a new phone, And actually, I bought a phone about 4 years ago, and I said, I'm not going to move my contacts over. And it was really tough for me to say that because I had 45,000 people in my phone. And I said, I don't want 45,000 moving in my phone that I can't qualify that I know them anymore. I don't know if I've lost touch. I don't even know if these numbers are right. I don't know if the emails are right. So I decided to play a little game, Francine. The game was contact 10 people from my 45,000 with my new phone. And if they respond, add them to the phone. Or I should say, contact until I get 10 people. And it took about maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes a day. It wasn't that much. Because if I write you and I say, Francine, how are you doing today? And you say, I'm doing fine. That's considerably under 1 minute. And I
Yeah.
know that the number's active. And I say, hey, Francine, is this email still correct? And you say, that is correct, or it's not. Still way under a minute. And I said, Francine, I never asked you when your birthday is. When's your birthday? And you tell me your birthday. I add that in, still under a minute. All three of those things. And then I'd put you in the phone. If you do that every single day for a year, you will have considerably over 3,000 people in your phone. And here's what I'll tell you: the 3,000 people you have in your phone are more valuable than the 45,000 people you had in your other phone that you don't know who you have and who to get to. It's just a lot of inefficiency. And so I've done that every single year. I'm now at 25,000 people that I've physically added to my phone. And for instance, Francine, if I was sharing the screen right now, I'd show you that I have roughly 100 plus people from the Toastmasters.
Yes.
And so at Toastmasters, I put TM for Toastmasters, and it's been in Orlando last year and this year. So I put MCO for the airport code. I put 25 for last year and 26 for this year. And it made the difference on how we showed up every single year with the amount of sales. And I said to Francine today, I said, you may not have hit number one, but I can't even put a value on the amount of publicity you had, because we sent this out to, I'd say, over 1,000 people, well over a
Oh,
thousand people,
over, way over.
way over 1,000 people. And
Way over.
but let me be clear though, those 1,000 people are the ones you put in your phone physically. These are your friends. These are your speaker friends. These are your author friends. These are your podcast friends. These are basically influencers on some level. So I'll just say you have a lot of people to know about your books right now. In fact, I was just had a meeting with someone before I got on this show, and I told them about you, and they said, "Oh yeah, I bought both their books." Like it was a really good common piece. And you know why they shared that? Because I asked them, hey, France, I know you want to do reviews on the site. Um, if you bought some books, I can help you put the reviews on. So you're going to see on the site that you have two new reviews from Christy Tufts, and she only has four reviews. She has four reviews on the site. You're two of them. So I mean, it just goes to show you that it was so relevant to her because she just did it. She's now moved her reviews over to the site. And by the way, honestly, Francine, after you're done with this call, I want you to see how much your butterfly has jumped and how much the other one, Sparkle Shine. I call it Sparkle Feather Shine. Okay, your Sparkle. Those books have increased because people that bought them, they took the reviews and moved it over to the Smile channel. So the Smile channel is, if you know about Linktree, Francine.
Yes.
So Linktree is a very interesting and very brilliant um, software program. The upside of it is, if anyone can remember your name, they could see all your links to all your social channels. In fact, they can even go to your Amazon, they can go to your YouTube, they can do all these things. The downside to Linktree, or the problem with it, and it's the problem with all of them, Poplar, Bling, all them, is that someone shares it to your phone, and it goes in your database. And when it goes in your database, your mind doesn't remember what you just put in your database. It's
Hmm.
actually gone the second that you put it in there. So if I've never met Francine before, and Francine says, "Oh, let me give you my contact," and it goes in my phone, it might as well have just gone into the abyss or into a trash can. What you have to do, and not what you have to do, what you should do, get to do, and would benefit from doing is, hey, Francine, I know you just gave me your, no, I know you just gave me your contact. What's your name again? And you say, Francine. I go, let me pull it up. And you pull it up out of the abyss, and you show it, and the person goes, yes, that's me. And then you say, let me text you. And you text a selfie of both of you. And you say something like, hey, let me put in the code TMMCO26 so I can remember to find this. And then, when's your birthday, Francine? And then you tell me your birthday. I have 3 points of reference. I have my memory of seeing you and that we took a picture together. I have a memory of where we met, the code, and I have a memory of when to say when your birthday is, which,
Oh, let me just tell everybody here that he taught me this during my book launch
right.
last 2 years ago now, my original book launch that Perfect Publishing helped me with. And I started doing that at every event where I go. I I get their phone number, I take a picture of us together, and I immediately send them a nice message. And you know how much effort and time that saves me when they text me? I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember you.
I I think it's the most interesting jolt when you write someone, you say Happy Easter or Happy Mother's Day or something, and they write back and they go, "Who is this?"
Exactly.
And this is their way of saying, "I did not save my messages. I honestly didn't care to save my messages. I don't know how to save my messages, and you are spam." That's in all those nutshells. Then you send the picture of you and that person back. And if you've made the impression that Francine has made with people and that people tell me I make, all of a sudden they write back and go, "Oh my gosh, it's so good to hear from you." And it instantly turns from spam to hamming it up.
Yes,
And,
absolutely.
and I've had people say, "I was thinking about you, but I didn't remember how to contact you or whatever." And so it gets back to conversation. And, if you're going from one event to another event to another event to another event, which I honestly do, and you're going to just collect names and numbers and you're never going to do anything with them, quite frankly, don't go to events. It's not going to make a difference. You'd be better off just hanging on Facebook or something or LinkedIn. Um, I will share some things that are really important for the Smile channel. But before I do, I want to talk about the art of networking. So when you're at an event like Toastmasters, there's 250 people there, and you're better off making 5 solid connections than to make 50 to 100 connections. 50 to 100 connections means you've connected with them, but they don't remember you and you don't remember them. So it's pretty meaningless. So if you're going to play professional level and go for 50, which is about what I do, I look to see if I can get about 25 good connections a day, maybe 30. What I do is I ask their name and I get the picture with them, I get their birthday, but I purposely the next day write something to them, anything. I just say, "Hey, it was great meeting you. What are you on LinkedIn?" Just any question that can turn it into a volley. In this day and age, professional networkers like myself can actually be blocked from sending text. So, just a little inside track for those of you who are professional texters or professional networkers. When you text somebody and you're right in front of them, a good idea is for you to say, "Did you get my text?" Now, there's two reasons for that. One is they might legitimately not have gotten your text, and it's because Apple will do a block because you're a heavy texter, not a spammer, a heavy texter, and they're just making sure because you don't know that number that number is not being infused with your contacts until they allow it. It's a bad system, quite frankly, because it's not alerting the person that they have a choice. So you actually say, "Did you receive a text from me?" I'd say roughly 80% will say yes. um, 20% or 18, 19% will say, "I didn't." Just simply say, "Oh, text me at this number." And I give my number 202 500 4625. They text it, and all of a sudden, all the stuff comes up. And they go, "Oh my gosh, how did you do that?" And I go, "It was just being blocked until you approved my number. So now we can now fluidly text because we've approved each other's pathway."
That's interesting. I never knew that about Apple because I have Android.
Yes, Apple's not too good with this. The Apple ID is so what the issue is that I don't behave like a human, and that's not my intention. But most humans may only do 30 to 50 texts a day. I do somewhere between 250 and 400 a day. So I'm off the Richter scale. So they think I'm a machine, or that my there's no way it'd be possible that it's not spam or that it's not legitimate. And so they don't block me because they see when all these come back as approved that there's no spam. So I'm not blacklisted or anything. But the second reason you do that is, let's just say that you misheard a number and you keep texting them and you're like, "Why won't they? We hit it off so well. Why won't they?" And about one out of 100, maybe two, they say, "No, that was a six." And I go, "Oh." And then I re-text them and they go, "Oh, I got it now." That could be the difference of whether you make a sale. If the person was waiting for you to get back to them and they never get your stuff, they're just going to assume, "Oh, they were too busy, they forgot me, whatever." And That's a really embarrassing thing when you just misheard a number. So sometimes I'll show them what I typed in, and I'll say that, and then they say, "Yep, that's it," and I hit it, and they go, "Did you get it?" And you're off to the races at that point. I mean, there's no reason if they say they got it that they're not going to communicate, because generally speaking, speakers, podcasters, authors, leaders, they want to hear from fellow authors, speakers, leaders. And by the way, if you're an author, you don't mind hearing from speakers or podcasters because you're all in the realm of making a difference. So we found out in doing something called the Authorthon that um, we had 100 authors say, I will do 100 reviews if I can be on this program for free. And I was told by my team, even though I had some apprehension about it, I said, well, if they say they're going to do it, how do we know they're going to do it? And it wasn't that I didn't trust. It was like I just didn't understand the accountability piece. And what inevitably happened is human nature came in. And human nature is, well, I don't see how it can be counted, so I'm not going to do it. Or I'm really busy. Or I don't know how. Or when is someone going to teach me? Or when am I going to get my 100 reviews before I start? And these were all things. And I was doing 5 to 10 reviews a day. Just you know how some people take a brick and they hit it against their head and they go, don't do that at home. When I say I did 9 reviews a day, don't do that at home. Do not do 9 reviews on Amazon. I am not just a very heavy texter. I'm an extremely heavy Amazon user. And so when I do 9 reviews a day on Amazon, they're not saying, oh, spammer, because I buy so many books. I buy a lot of books. And not only do I buy a lot of books, I have tons and tons of books that I buy for my show or that are sent to me. And I buy the Kindle. I support lots of Amazon bestsellers, et cetera. And I don't always write reviews. So they're sitting in a bank called social proof possibility. If I buy 9 books one day and I do all 9 reviews that same day, Amazon's going to have a red flag go up and say, we got a possible scammer or hacker. And so they'll either alert you or they'll alert themselves that this is an action needs to be taken. It's not favorable, by the way. You could have your account restricted. You can have your account terminated. And a restricted account means we sure do appreciate all the money you're giving us. Keep giving us the money, but you have no right to give reviews anymore because you're misusing what a review is for, which is to give a legitimate review to somebody that you've read their book and you purchase it. So that's one level of bad. Another level is that you misuse an Amazon account and you're not a purchaser there, and they just terminate your account, and that's really bad. That is going to hurt you. You're gonna have to get a new email, new credit cards, and they could have your credit card and your name blacklisted from the site. And I don't fault Jeff Bezos or his programmers for this because they're trying to protect people from bogus entries and I guess just misusing the right of what their program is meant for. And they've made it a lot harder to do Amazon bestsellers. So I will just say, Francine, you fought the good fight. She did about the same amount of book sales for her Sparkle Shine, and it got #1. And then when she did it for the other one, it got number 20 or something like that. And then we had to even go higher, and the consistency of the higher pushed her to number 3 or 2. And then finally, the last day, she was number 2 in creativity. And then our 4th day, she stayed number 2 with less sales. But the point is, if you add it all up, I think you had 120 sales, something like that.
But you know what? That's okay because this book is going to make a difference in so many lives. I don't need awards for it. Just making a difference in the lives is award enough.
I heard Nick Nanton was on my show yesterday. He's done some amazing documentaries. He said, documentary is not cheap. It can be $100,000 or more. It can be $1,000,000. And he says, if I can save one life or make one life better with a documentary, it was already worth it. So I appreciate your comment. And it's not a but and we're not done, Francine. The book can get an Amazon bestseller when it's supposed to get an Amazon bestseller. I would like to get that for you. I'd like to get it for Jimmy. I'd like to get it for Beth because all of you were this close to #1. And even though it may not be important to some people, it's important that you just have the accolade because you deserve it. It's a deserved thing. And, when I told you these are hard categories, you said, well, then we'll earn it. And that's the mentality a military person has.
Well, and I just want you to know that I am still getting people sharing my posts. Hey, buy my friend's book. people who didn't read their emails all weekend long are now reading their emails and or emailing me back, I bought your book. It just didn't happen on that one day that
Right.
we wanted it to happen. It's happening. It's
So
happening.
yeah, I want to address that actually. So if you pay, $10,000, $25,000, or even more to a publisher, and the publisher promises you, and just 1 second, it's a little loud here. Yeah, just there you go. So you pay 25 to $30,000 for a Amazon, no, for your book to be published, and then you have your publisher give you an Amazon bestseller, and you make $100 or $500 or even $1,000. You're putting that against your investment of 25,000 or 10,000, and that's not good business. It's not. So when you hire a publisher, I strongly encourage you to ask 3 questions. One question is, when the baby is given to me, the book is given to me, the book drops, what happens then? Because all the money you spent is not to make the baby. All the money you spent is for a complete experience. And the complete experience is that a beautiful baby book comes out, it's marketable, it's gorgeous, and you love it, and you want to show the world it. And your publisher needs to address that it's going to take more time to get the book to have impact than it was to make the book. I I love Malcolm Gladwell because he says you need 10,000 hours. And
Yeah.
although that's a very daunting number to put next to a book, I look at my son Kenny, and having him come in the world, that was a gorgeous miracle, but it was not a lot of effort. It really wasn't. Maybe for
Well, maybe for your wife.
my wife has quite a bit of effort. But to raise him into being just only 12 years old right now and writing 14 books and being a cellist, a pianist, a soccer player, a Boy Scout,
And just an all around great kid.
he's an all around great kid. And he has, I don't know, 10,000, 20,000, whatever amount of hours of us raising him to be this remarkable kid. Well, I look at a book the same way. He has 14 books. We put the care into every single one of his books. In fact, you and Kenny are celebrating Flag Day together with Jody and RJ. So, because you as a veteran, and then RJ and by the way, we still have
Well,
one.
all three of us are veterans.
Yes, exactly. And
Mm.
so we're celebrating Flag Day, and it's Kenny's birthday is Flag Day. So we look for excuses to have a celebration for our authors to have their message of their book or the message of their heart come out.
Okay, let's take this moment to talk about the Smile Channel. And because you told them about it, but you didn't tell them what it could do for them.
Yes. So back a couple minutes ago, I talked about Linktree. This is PR Linktree. It's public relations, it's publicity for authors, speakers, podcasters. It's the perfect platform for storytellers. And when you go there, you sign up for free. You put Francine's name, and she deserves the credit. She gets a point, obviously. And I mean, she gets a point because part of the game is how many people you bring in the site. So please put her name. And then you get to have a free account because of her. So everyone, big clap of hands. You get to have a profile. And if you want to speak about the power of a smile, you want to do the 10 and 10 interview with me, or any way we can help get your here and here to be shown out there as a video. Your video is the way you get counted as your impact. So your videos can be brought into the site, or you can do videos on the site. We encourage you to do both, actually. And you are able to go into the reader area and see all the books. We have 244 books right now being reviewed, 1,600 reviews plus, over 1,600 reviews have been given in 33 days. We believe that the site will grow to over 1,000 authors, and we believe it's going to grow to over 10,000 reviews. And it's going to be the review machine that legitimizes what you're supposed to do on Amazon. You buy a book, you check it out, and you do a review a day later, a week later, a month later, but you have time to appreciate what the author conveyed and what they're committed to. So
I just want to say that in this program, I think I'm close to 90 reviews now
Yes.
I have read some books that I otherwise wouldn't have bought that were absolutely life changing or taught me something that I didn't know I needed to learn. So you're getting, they say get out of your comfort zone. Well, get out of your normal book reading and find all these new, exciting books to read.
The quote I love by Charlie Tremendous Jones is the difference between where you are today and where you'll be 5 years from now are the people you meet and the books you read. And the best thing I've had happen to me, Francine, is people texting me or emailing me or just in a Zoom call and saying, "Ken, I had no idea these books were this amazing. I mean, these are amazing people writing books that have great messages." So, and I have people like Dr. Michelle Mraz and Beth Robbins that read every single book before they actually put the review down. They said, "I don't want to write a review until I can say I read it." So they're speed readers, fortunately. And by the way, there's somebody in our group that has a speed reading course that allows you to read a book in hours because of how you can contextualize it and process it. So it's an amazing group of people. Dr. Kevin McGuire, I wouldn't doubt if his book becomes a movie. It's called Sleeper Code. Mark Roddy has a book called Raven. I think that, and by the way, Angela's Letter is equally good. The All three of his books are worthy of either documentary or movie. We have William Paul Young, who wrote The Shack. He's in the Smile Channel. I mean, there's people doing remarkable things. I just mentioned Nick Nanton. He interviews the likes of Post Malone. He does all these really big movies. He does documentaries about stopping sex trafficking. I mean, these are the 1% of the 1%, or they're just one percenters. They're the kind of people that you probably can't access on any other platform that I know of. There's probably masterminds you can pay 10 or 25,000 to access these people, but they are in this platform, sharing their heart, sharing their gifts, and playing. I call it playing big, playing as big as you can. So I'm Neil Patel is on our. I mean, he's
Oh,
the number
really?
one.
Wow.
Neil Patel is on the Smile Channel. He's the number one marketer.
Well, and you have Francine Julene?
And you're number two on the site as far as it's number two or number three, right? As far
Yeah,
as the kind of impact you're having. And
yeah.
then we have Jeffrey Gitomer, the king of sales. We have Sharon Lechter, who's exited companies and made such a difference with Rich Dad Poor Dad and books that can talk to you. I mean, she's in a lot of technologies that have changed the world. I'm just very pleased with the level of quality of
Oh,
people.
I just want to address any speakers watching now that there's also an opportunity to upgrade your membership and you could get your speaker one sheet put up there.
Right.
So if anybody is looking for a speaker, you have this whole network of professionals that will see your one sheet and hire you.
And the one sheet's created through the AI of the process of you doing your application. So when you put all your information in, you go through 6 steps, I think it is. It's taking all that information and putting it into a one sheet for you, and you can get a booking right from the site. You can actually have your button say, "Contact me to book me." So it's better than a PR site. It's better than an agency, only from a standpoint of the value. I mean, these memberships are very inexpensive for what you get.
And it's a baby, which means it can only get better.
Amen. And it's grandfathered. So those that get in now, you get to enjoy the perks of, let's just say, the value being locked in, even though the value increases. So it's really great to be here with you, Francine. You have been really a champion of what I will call the young leaders of Perfect Publishing. You have helped all the children's authors, as well as I think inspire children to become authors.
Yes, and I would love to find parents who want their children to share their creativity with the world. Have an opportunity available. So if you think your child might want to be an author, drop a comment and let me know.
And if your children doesn't want to be an author and they just want to read some great books, this is quite the forum for inexpensive access to books that teach you character, responsibility, initiative, leadership,
Confidence.
confidence, big time confidence. Yes, yeah. I mean, I think any of the. I mean, my son has written books about America that got him an invitation to the White House and got him invitations to be an international kidpreneur and all kinds of other interviews. So you write a book and it changes your life, but it also changes a lot of others.
Well, It is 5:01. I think it's time to take this out. Everybody, if you're watching the replay and you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. The link for the Smile channel is in the comments. I hope to see you in the community. And bye for now.
Keep smiling.